Welcome to EduRev. My name is Yashovardhan Mishra and I've qualified the UPSC Civil Services Prelims exam in 2019 and in 2017. I've written the UPSC mains with geography as my optional subject. So today we'll be starting with the UPSC CSE economics series. So we'll be starting with fiscal policy. What is a fiscal policy? So basically it is the part of the government which is concerned with raising the revenue through taxation and with deciding the amounts and purpose of government spending. So basically how government is generating its revenue through taxation and how it is spending those revenue for social welfare. Okay. Now, what is the importance of fiscal policy? So it is very important for equitable growth. It is very important for promotion of industry, because if the government has revenue, it can invite industries, it can easily give it loans for setting up an industry and thus promoting a sustainable economic development. The third one is encouraging agriculture. Through fiscal policy, government provide subsidies to farmer in the form of, let's say, either fertilizer subsidy, seed subsidy and let's say power subsidy. So this help farmer to increase its crop productivity and thus help increase farmers' income. Next, it is very important for rural development and for the development of social as well as physical infrastructure. So physical infrastructure include road, railways, etc. and the social infrastructure include health, hospitals and schools for education. Okay. Now what are the components of fiscal policy? So basically it has two components. One is revenue account and one is capital account. Capital account is basically for long-term projects and the revenue account is for short-term process and products. So first we'll come to revenue account. It includes basically revenue account receipt. How much revenue is coming to the revenue account? How much it is receiving? So it receives revenue either from tax or non-tax resources. So tax resources are basically direct and indirect taxes like income tax, corporate tax, wealth tax, etc. Non-tax revenue includes dividends from the PSUs, interest income on loans given by the government and the user charges. User charges like charges on water, electricity charges, etc. The second one is the revenue account expenditure. What money is spent for what purpose? So the revenue account expenditure includes the interest payment, the payment for defense, subsidies and public administration, which include salaries to employees, etc. Now we'll come to capital account receipts. So it includes proceeds from the disbursement of PSUs, proceeds from the sales of assets, the example, government land or building, etc. Recovery of loans and borrowing of market. Alright. So the most important thing here is these three are non-debt creating. Okay. And this one, the fourth one, borrowing from the market, is debt creating receipt. Now coming to capital account expenditure. It includes repayment of past loans, expenditure on asset creation and loans given to state government. Now we'll see about deficits and its type. So what is deficit? When your expenditure is more than your receipt. Okay. So this situation is called deficit. And when the converse situation, when your receipt is more than your expenditure, is called a surplus situation. Alright. So moving on. So first one is revenue deficit. Okay. So deficit is basically expenditure minus the receipt. So the revenue deficit includes the day-to-day expenditure of the government. Okay. Which include the interest payments, subsidies, defense and the day-to-day receipt, which includes dividends from the PSUs, the user charges, the tax revenues, etc. Second one is the effective revenue deficit. So it is basically the revenue deficit minus the grants given to state for development. Alright. Third one is very important, focus on it, fiscal deficit. So it includes total expenditure minus revenue receipt and non-debt creating capital receipt. So these three are the non-debt creating capital receipts. Okay, so this on three will be included here. All right. The fourth one is the primary deficit. It includes the fixed fiscal deficit minus the interest payments. And the last one is budget deficit. So it includes the total expenditure minus the total receipt. All right. Now comes the FRBM Act 2003. So basically it is Fiscal Responsibility and Budget Management Act. So the aim of this act is to reduce fiscal deficit and reduce revenue deficit. So the two provision here is, aim is to reduce revenue deficit by 0.5% and fiscal deficit by 0.3% starting from 2004-2005 financial year. The second one is eliminate the revenue deficit 0 and reduce fiscal deficit to 3% of GDP by 2009, and this has not been achieved yet. All right. So what are the effects of fiscal deficit? So basically it causes microeconomic instability by inflating the economy as money supply rises. So when fiscal deficit occurs, government either borrow from the market to reduce its fiscal deficit, or it printed new currency to reduce its fiscal deficit. So these two methods are inflationary. Okay, it causes inflation. As more money with the government, it can spend more, and the people then have more money, which can cause inflation-like situation. All right. Then corporate sector is crowded out as government borrowing increases. So whenever government borrows from the market, then the market have less money, and then the private sector will not have enough money to borrow. So they get crowded out. All right. And the third one is it causes less investment and thus hurts sustainability of high growth. Now what are the methods to reduce fiscal deficit? Let's see. So printing fresh currency money by RBI. All right, we have seen this. Borrowing from the market. So these two are the inflationary methods which may cause inflation. All right, and the better ones are increasing the revenue through taxation. So GST can be a good method. Selective disinvestment of PSUs, like we have recently done with Air India disinvestment. Broadening of tax base, including more people under the tax procedures, and increasing the tax buoyancy. So these are the better methods. All right. Now there has been a committee under N.K. Singh, which is known as the FRBM Review Committee. So it has given 2 or 3 recommendations, of which the most important one is the focus on public debt to GDP ratio. Okay, so it said the government debt to GDP ratio should have brought down to 60% by 2023, which is presently around 60 to 78% for central government and 20% for state government. So this has already been asked in UPSC prelims exam. So the recommendation of some important committees is very important. So you all know that N.K. Singh panel is heading the Financial Commission. Okay. Second provision is the committee also recommended that the central government should reduce its revenue deficit steadily by 0.25% each year and to reach 0.8% by 2023 from a projected value of 2.3 in 2017. So these two are the most important recommendations you should remember. All right. So this is all for the fiscal policy. All right. I'll see you in the next video. Have a safe day. Bye. Now, as you have completed this topic, तो आपको चेक करना है कि आपको ये टॉपिक समझ में आया है कि नहीं आया है. तो हाउ वुड यू डू दैट? बाय सॉल्विंग द क्वेश्चंस. सो आपको क्वेश्चंस कहाँ मिलेंगे? आपको क्वेश्चंस मिलेंगे एडुरेव इन्फिनिटी पे. सो एडुरेव इन्फिनिटी पे आपको सब्जेक्ट वाइज मैनर में टॉपिक वाइज क्वेश्चन का पूरा सेट मिलेगा. ऑलराइट, तो आपको यहाँ पे पूरे टेस्ट एज वेल एज पीडीएफ फॉर्म में डॉक्यूमेंट्स भी अवेलेबल है. सो अगर आपने अभी तक एडुरेव इन्फिनिटी सब्सक्राइब नहीं किया तो जाके सब्सक्राइब करें एंड इन क्वेश्चंस को प्रैक्टिस करना स्टार्ट करिए.